What's up, fam? Woo! Episode 29. This week, we took a little bit of a different approach to how we wanted to go with our progression. We actually achieved something that I've been meaning to do for a very long time. You could probably go back 10 episodes ago, or maybe more, and I probably would have been talking about it. Just a slightly different approach. Now, is it the most effective way as far as progression goes at the stage that I'm at? Probably not. But who cares? So let's dive down and take a look. So here we are in the tail end of this run. We still got a little bit of legs left in it. So this is where we're going more into the, I suppose, the side of the tower that I enjoy, that we all make different decisions and stuff, and we all have our own little goals, and not all of us follow meta and not all of us follow effective. Now, if you've been following this journey for a while, or if you're just starting out and tuning in, what you will notice about me is going way back to the first episodes. Whenever I do something, I think about, the longevity of it, and by that I mean as far as, will I enjoy that style of play? I don't like shitting in my hands and clapping, fam. So one thing about doing this orbless free up version of the Devo is actually making them fit inside my run, my like daily farming sort of buzz. So what I typically do is I'll go for a 12-hour run and a 12-hour run, and we might move plus or minus either side, and that's just depending on what's going on during the day. But one thing I've found with this, it comes to perks. So I suppose we could look at how everything kind of goes. So typically in the flow, when I'm at this point here, where we're at 500 trill damage coming in from the enemies. Now, sponging 500 trill's not bad, but once I get these suckers, and every time they hit me, and then you end up getting them all around the tower and that, and the heat up mechanic, then what that ends up doing is it just ends up causing too much damage. So somewhere around here, I have to take the 50-50 perk. Now, I can't remember what day it was this week, but I randomly forgot to take it. And it's normally around the 600 trill, 700 if I'm lucky. 700's right in the top end. I'll have to take the 50-50 trade-off perk, but I actually forgot about it one day. And then I turned around, and this number here was at about 800. Or maybe even 900 trill coming in. This bar here with my wall, you guys know what it looks like when it starts spamming back and forth. So I was about to die. But then it made me think, hey, maybe it's the time. Like how could I end up surviving that much more damage than compared to when I take the 50-50? So for context, when I take the 50-50 trade-off, around about 700, maybe 750. She's pretty much game over for me at that point. And that's just because I can't kill everything fast enough. So I sat there and thinking, maybe I could switch things around and adjust things where I don't take it, and I actually get more damage. So there's one thing that's disheartening when you're trying to increase damage, when you're kind of at that phase of the game, is the annoying part about it is because when you take the 50-50 trade-off, it halves your damage as well as theirs. So for everything that you're investing into it, whether it's time in the labs or whether it's coins, etc., you're only really getting half the value. So you kind of just end up feeling you're dumping stuff into this endless bucket, and you're kind of getting nowhere in that. But what we managed to be able to do, what's going on here? Let's turn this off. What we managed to be able to do And hopefully I got a good enough screenshot and I can use it as a thumbnail, but if not, we can probably tune in later on into the run. But this down here, we're getting over a Q coming in damage. Now with a 50-50 trade-off, that still is only 500 trill damage. So I still can survive longer technically with taking the trade-off perk. But my current goal, and again this isn't because it's the most effective way to play this game or do any of this sort of buzz. So if you're trying to follow something, please don't follow me. This is just how I feel like playing it. But if we're trying to focus on damage to survive, we might be on the right track. Now we managed to get ourselves to over 9k waves. Incoming damage around that, I don't know, is that a quintillion? Whatever that number is. One lowercase q. And still fine, it fits exactly with the 12-hour runs in the days. But the biggest bonus as far as quality of life goes is now I don't have to run autos. So sometimes I would run, like, let's say I've got to do something, I've got to, I don't know, got to go to a meeting or something. I'd have to click it on auto, go to the meeting, and whenever I'm back to my device or the tower or whatever to see how we're getting on, then I'd have to see what perks ended up getting picked and then adjust things accordingly. Now I can just run full auto. Who cares? Because I'm not getting hamstrung by the 50-50 trade-off. So what I was actually doing is I was actually taking the 50-50 trade-off somewhere around this point. You know, 8,500 plus waves. By now I'd have to take it. But if I take it too early in the run, my coin per hour dips because I'm not trimming fast enough. So we actually, you know, it's something that's gradually happened over time as I've been investing in my labs and into my enhancements and stuff, and like knowing that I was going to come up to this point. But it's something that I actually pushed, got across the line, and managed to, just been doing it for the last couple of days. So to me, this is a pretty big moment in the journey. Now, doesn't mean this is how things are going to stay. Probably not. If we go for a BHD build, I'm probably going to need it. I may need it if we eventually some stage progress to tier 12, but the goal is kind of to keep it banned, stay away from using it, and now just adjust things accordingly when it comes to damage and able to progress further. So I tend to think EHP is, it can be an easy clutch. You know, and it's still extremely viable, especially in this meta. And if you guys have seen the teaser that come out, oh my uncle, eh? Oh my uncle giving out the V27 teaser. And old uncle spends about 3 paragraphs talking about the web store and bloody 1 paragraph talking about what we may or may not be getting in the update. I'm gonna have to talk to Nan about him. Nan did always say though, yeah, watch out for your bloody uncle. So what we'll do, we'll let this run go a little bit further. I might leave it for another half an hour or so. And then after that, we'll do the little round skis. Because they're expecting the update to come, mid-August to late August. It's only the start of August. I'm kind of assuming that because of this. So it's either going to be right around the time of the season change. Or possibly a week or two after the season, and then probably millions of bug updates that come afterwards. So we'll have a look soon. So this run still has a little bit left in it. Like I said, I can get to over a Q. That's equals to hundreds of waves. Maybe a good thing to point out is when I'm around this part here. So 17. I'm kind of okay, I can still keep trimming, but what I found is I think around 35 ish big S we start to struggle a bit with the trimming, but I'm just going to end it there so we can get into it. Boom, boom, 206 trill. Here's the basic stats that everyone's interested in. 9,000 waves, 240,000 cells, May or may not have been on track for a PB. Golden Bot. Here's how the fetch is doing. Oh, claim skis. I suppose just on that fetch, you guys may or may not have seen the post in Discord, but there was a little bit of a teaser to something that kind of looked like this. I don't know what it is, whether it's a new tab over here, whether it's some sort of currency. It almost looks like some sort of currency. Let's get into stats. So the stats for the week is 12.73, so almost 13Q, which means we earned, is that around 2.5Q? I can't even remember what the last amount was. We're almost at the year's mark. We are, dude, we're like 9 days off. 9 days off, boys and girls and boys. So stones, 20k. Labs are just slowly creeping there. I'm not really sure about this one, eh? Workshop coins spent, 1.4Q. Not really sure that's accurate how it records it, or maybe I'm just not reading it right. Is there an enhancements tab one? Anyway. So the peak for the week was 210 trillion, so no major jumps, not like compared to what we have been, and that's mainly because of being focused on what I mentioned earlier. So tournaments for the history, 263, I think that's the highest wave. Maybe it was just battle conditions made, you know, us get an extra however many. What is that, 20 something? 20 something odd PB. Look at this one, 2,600 waves, bro. And not gonna lie, there was like 3 or 4 other people chomping at the heels. There are only like 100 or 200 odd waves behind me. So yeah, that champs is getting crazy. But apparently in V27 they're gonna look at something in order to shorten the runs, which I'm assuming is something that's gonna make battle conditions even harder, which is a good thing. But depending on how they structure that will depend on who's going to be the winners or losers out of that update. Like if they make it that it's something like players that don't have any crowd control or something like a Epic, Chronofield and all that other stuff there, then you end up getting smashed on. I don't know. Zedon's got a good suggestion. He recommends that they should just do something with the level skips, you know. Basically, the mobs end up doing more damage and have more health, you know, to speed it up. But yeah, so that's Tawny's event. I actually need to finish all of these. This one, the nuke, I got a pretty like chill way of doing it. Demon mode won't take long. This one's annoying because it means that I'll have to do it after a tournament run, because I just can't do it in the current devo that I'm in. And yeah, 2 more days left to do it, so I'll probably actually do it tomorrow. Guild season, it's all standard stuff here, guys. Store, we got 65 bits. I'll probably get the last of this. Guardian, I feel like I'm supposed to just do this. Boom. Boom, boom. Maybe. Yeah, well, that's what it is now. So I think everybody's stores are looking like this. Pretty good season. Pretty good season. You know, can't complain. What was this one? Oh yeah, coins. Can't complain with anything, you know. Attack speed relic. No new guarding this time, but that's alright. Gave us a chance to invest our bits into the current one that we got. Guildies. All doing all goods. So let's go to workshop. So for the workshop, I have gotten this back up. Oh no, almost. Wow, while we're here, eh? Even though I'm going to end up respecing for the tourney, we'll just give it a little bit of a bing. So we got that 400. This one's still at 350. I'm debating whether I need to take it up to 400. I mean, at this stage in the game, like you guys are seeing, the way the runs work, I really don't need to. But, you know, I may or may not. Everything else is the same, pretty much. So it's pretty much just devoed. I haven't touched any of this. The free ups take care of it. If you are curious, that's at 1400. This one's 55, and it'll be same for health regen. Enhancements. So I'm still doing the same thing that when I do a respec. So I just put coins into this damage tab, and then when I do a respec for a tournament, or after a tournament, I should say, that's when I adjust things. This one, don't really need to touch it at this moment. This one we had a bit of progress. So for the cells per kill, I have got it to 1.3, and that's just purely for the respec side of things. Enemy level skips 1.14, and coin bonus 1.35. So this is almost going to start costing around that quintillion. Is it quintillion? Little Q. We'll just call it little Q. I feel stupid now. Same with this one. So it is getting hella pricey. Yeah, let's go into the ultimate weapons. So I've almost gold boxed the cooldown. So 240 after this tournament. Nah, I don't think that's enough. Is it? I think it is enough. How much do you get from a tournament? So if I lose in Legends, I'll get 150 stones. Yeah. There we go, lads. Be enough to gold box that cooldown this thing. And then the next thing we'll be doing, duration. And then we'll, you know, start getting a few clicks into the speed reduction. I think the speed reduction does get a bit pricey. Excuse me. So, this is another thing I wanted to look at. And this kind of ties in with enhancements. So, we'll go over to this tab. We'll go to the damage tab. Now, cards. So, one thing I was thinking about is that at some stage, this is going to get pricey. Now, I don't know at which point, because I haven't bothered to looking it up. But I'm thinking that, like, when this is around, like, 1.8 or 1.9, I feel like these are going to get to that expensive mark. Now, at some stage, that must make this a viable strat. Is it? Because if you buy one of those, if you buy one of the enhancements, so we'll get to a stage where we'll figure out how much coin and enhancements versus how much coins to lab this mastery will be the more viable path as far as getting some effective damage. So that's just one of the things that I've been thinking about. I think right off the rip. So look, just even unlocking it for 750 stones, you get 1.4x. So you get a 40% gain. So I'm actually super curious in how many points this goes up in. Does the lab change it to 1.5, then it goes 1.6, or does it go up in 2 points, or, you know, whatever. But that's definitely something that I've been thinking about, that we will end up running into that pinch point. And maybe that will make tier 12 viable at some stage. Not in the too distant future, but also it's not really right around the corner for myself. Moddies, bro. This, getting it in this level, this 151 onwards, is so expensive. And again, I'm just using the ACP for the damage, you know, to compensate for a lot of damage that I don't have at the moment. MVN. And G-Comp. What's this over here? Cash bonus. I mean, we're not even going to bother rolling for anything else. I have been rolling. What did I roll on? I've only got 100,000, so it might have been this. Yeah, I got multi-shot targets. I mean, that may or may not have helped in the tournaments and that. But, you know, more bullets equals more chances for chain lightning. Should, in turn, give better results in tourneys and that. Well, that's just how I feel. And did we get this? Oh yeah, that last tournament that I did. Like, normally I'll do maybe like a couple different modules. But the last Legends one I did just the project funding. But I can't remember what I changed and how I was playing in it. Like normally, like if I do a Legends run, I might just do 2, just for funsies. But what I should have done is I actually should have tried this, because I actually like generally do, or do not epic or anything, but I generally do okay with this one compared to project funding just for myself. Maybe I'm doing something wrong, I don't know. But it is only legendary, which does it does suck a bit. For the labs, I thought I might finish this health level skip off. I forgot that this lab actually existed, but shaving off, if we want to try to help ourselves a bit in tournament, having the wall as like an extra energy shield can't hurt to lose all these seconds. Like, look at this, 120 seconds. That's almost 2 minutes of downtime we're going to get back. Crit factor's almost 85, so I'm thinking at 85, I might just slot in damage for a bit. My damage is maybe in the 70s, I can't remember. Lab speed 98, bro. It'll be so epic to finish this lab of the lab speed before my 1 year anniversary. Now it's pretty much been as soon as I like started this game, as soon as I started labs and all that, the first priority slot that I had was the game speed one, and in the second lab slot that I bought, I slotted in labs this lab here, and it's been on there bar maybe 3-4 weeks tops, as I've like subbed in other stuff, to get it over and done with, stuff that had a good ROI. So almost a year. It'll be sick to finish that off for the year. But bro, if you're going to commit to gold boxing this, you're in for a year for the journey. It's not a short one. So that's, well, we could look at the perks, because like I said, we do have the 50-50 band. Get out of here. She's done at the moment, lads. She's done. We'll get her out of here. We could look at relics. So I'm at 120 relics. I do buy the event pass. I think it's more than a reasonable amount to support the Uncle Fuds and his new growing team. He did say that over the last month I've hired some more people to help out around. Doesn't mean we're going to get faster turnover as far as major or smaller updates. Not too sure. I'm not going to pretend like I can crystal ball gaze those answers for anybody, including myself. But if you do feel like there's you get into stages where you feel like there's a content drought, then maybe that's some positive news for you. For myself, I feel like it's good news that it shows that the game's in a healthy state. Roughly, I can't remember. Somebody mentioned it a while ago. I was reading in Discord, but I'm sure there's like roughly 100,000 people that participate in tournaments. Might be more than that. Somebody's might be able to correct me down in the comments. But if let's say it was 100,000 active players, not all of them spend. Obviously, there's whales, but that's a more than healthy enough population to support a small little indie game like this. So it's pretty cool that other people geek out on this game, just like myself. I actually managed to get one of my workmates suck it into it. Oh, suck it into it. He's trying to get it on a potato PC that he's got at home, and he ended up finding an old phone, because I told him, oh yeah, because you got to have your daily phone, your daily driver. We all need our phones and stuff, and you don't want it getting swallowed to just perma running a game. This is probably no good to use unless I'm going to click into all of it, but I think we can. There's like an information button. Where is it? I feel stupid now. Is it up the top? There. Here we go. We'll go down here. Oh, they did leave a teaser about Defense Absolute. They've been harping on about it for a while now. Nobody's seen anything for the last you know, V25, V26. So now V27. Let's see. I do have, because I do buy the relics, and that's just because, I don't know, I just want them. Like, whether I'm going to use something or not, I just buy it anyway because, you know, I just want to have it. So 42%. So whatever the hell they're going to do with Defense Absolute, hopefully it adds to some sort of, I don't know what they plan to do, but it has to be viable in order for people to not only want to lab it, but also invest a butt ton of coins into it. You know, empty out everything they have. So, doesn't mean it's going to help something with hybrid. Man, I'm not too sure. There's going to be some sort of economic gain. Who knows, fam? But he did reckon in their post that it is something that is going to be a thing. What I am going to do tomorrow, so I am going to do my tournament. I'm actually going to hit these. So after my tournament, because I do need to get that, do X amount of waves without taking damage, I'm going to just start here. And I'm probably going to work back. So I'll just end up losing one of my runs for the day. And we'll just start working our way back and see what numbers we can kind of get. Well, not the tier 13. But we'll do it on these three, eh? See if we can pick up anything along the way. And then maybe once we get back to, like, say here or here, I'll just let it go autopilot and we'll end up finishing that event mission. So, if you like what you see, you know the drill, fam. Like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification button so you can see when the next video is coming out. And as always, keep it cloudy, fam.